Hello, hello everybody to Dig Hard, the hot day today. Okay, as I said, yes, I wasn't sure what I was going to stream. I'm trying to think of games that might not be too, you know, intensive to say the least because of the heat. And I realized, oh, we haven't played Webfishing in a while, so we're going to play that today. But still, I think the best option is definitely for me to. That's why we're not going to spend too much time chatting. We're just going to get into it. In fact, we'll just do that now. We'll get into the game. We can chat as I play. It feels like the perfect game for that. And I tried to fix the tracking today. For some reason, it's acting like I'm leaning when I'm not. Okay. Soon I'm gonna have to offline. Thank you. Right. As for many people may or may not know, there's a let's see. It has been a while since we last played this. Do I have bait? Nope, that's zoom in. I should have done. I gotta try to remember to do this before we go live, so that I. Oh, okay. Nope, tracking's gone. Okay, that's weird. There we go. I do have bait. Um, let's see if I can. I think it's. Oh no, I need to get the. Just press one. There we go. There we go. Got my fresh fishing rod out. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's back. We're experiencing a heat wave, quite frankly, here in the UK at the moment, and it's fucking uh, draining me is the best way of putting it. But I did try. So I recently got a. I'm starting to like debate buying stuff off Amazon at this rate. I don't know because the reviews on this tower thing said that a lot of reviews, people were highly positive on it, and ooh, there's a whole thing. Just yeah, that's gonna be good enough. Um, oh fuck, a lot of people had really good results with it, but I haven't had much results. So I decided, you know what, let's get the other fan caller I have. So I've got two going at the same time, and it seems to be making a slight difference, a bit more difference than yesterday, but we'll see how today goes. Because as I said before, it doesn't start off hot; it gradually gets hotter as the day goes on. And obviously, as the sun moves around, it ends up going from the back of the house to the front of the house. So it's that. So we'll see how we go with that. If not, I can get a third one out because I got a small one last year that I thought was going to be enough, and it wasn't. And maybe that might work. Because that's the only reason why I don't want to. Because I know people just get an aircon. One, they're expensive. Two, it's not going to be hot all the time, right? And thirdly, as I said, with Amazon, the reviews don't seem to be reliable. Had sent the review, and the reviews were recent on the new tower thing I got. Um, we're going to fish here. Were new. They were like within a month's time, so it's quite possible for those people it worked because they weren't using it during the heat wave. So it makes me wonder if even an aircon would be worth using, to say the least. Especially off Amazon, even if I go for the highest review ones, because the problem that Amazon also has is that highest review doesn't mean the highest review. It bases it on how many reviews it has, not the highest rated views, which is so stupid. Because even if something has four stars or close to 4.5, 5.5 stars, it can still have tons of reviews where people did not like the item, and I have to sift through to see how many of that is, because it bases on, because you can search by up to the amount of stars it has, but it doesn't actually show you that. It shows the ones that have the most reviews. They came across ones that had more star ratings but had less reviews than other stuff. Ugh. And the part of me feels like maybe they might just be bots. Amazon, because the point is, people make several different listings, and it's hard to tell which one's the actual real product, and not people just pretending they have the actual product, and it's actually just a knockoff version of said product. Maybe if I do get aircon, maybe it'd be best to get something else. I don't know. But if two going at the same time works, maybe the third one might work too. But yeah. But tomorrow's gonna be even harder because today I believe it's supposed to be 27. Tomorrow's going to be 29. And Saturday might be if what we'll do tomorrow, I'll get the smaller fan cooler out and put that in as well. And if that works, then we might be golden for Saturday. But if it doesn't, then Saturday I'm just gonna take the stream off. Like, I mean, I did think about like maybe starting much earlier than usual. Like instead of starting around 11, maybe starting around 10, so we can do at least. So I got one earbud out to keep my ears on the door because one thing we might be doing tomorrow, which actually should be let me just check. I think I have the tracking. Oh, right, I forget. If I want to click on here, I need to. No shit. Now I've really gonna fuck it up. If I do that, I can use the mouse. But then if I click it away, I can't click on the other screen and stuff. I don't have the tracking up. A parcel coming in today from FedEx, and most of the times with delivery, they don't bother. Oh shit! What the fuck? How the hell is he fishing if his rod is in the? What the hell happened there? So busy just checking because usually when they're nearby, you know what? I think just to be in the safe, I'm gonna take both earbuds. I don't have like text to speech. I don't have to worry about that. And I've had the gameplay order of this enough times. I don't need to. Yeah, because it's supposed to be coming between 9 and 1. I was spending about doing it. Like we spend an hour chatting it if it comes, but usually like they have like a map comes up showing that it's close to your area. Knowing why, like it's probably gonna come around like 1 o'clock or something. So I'll keep my earbuds off now so I can properly hear them. I've got a nice glass of water as well. Oh yeah, I need to move the mouse back over. There we go. How the hell did that happen? Like, how in the actual fuck is it fishing on the sand? Oh, I got a bucket friend. I forgot about my bucket friend. Well, we seem to be fishing in the sand right now. Not sure how that works. Do you know what's more annoying about this heat wave is like like I said, it's gonna be lasting through to the weekend. Thankfully, Sundays where it's slowly closing down, but I was checking for like all the way up to next Saturday. It might be hot again next Saturday as well. It's why we're trying not to play most of the games. Why we're putting pause on other series because I don't want to do something that's going to require a lot of concentration, causing me to sweat a lot. Which was my fault for yesterday. When I think about yesterday more, we shouldn't have just left doing Genshin's update thing because the main reason why I want to do it is because the likelihood of spoilers is going to be very slim because lately that's not been happening as much. But I was just too curious to see if Paimon's voice actor had been changed. And then I realized there's a good chance I was going to see TikToks. It was only after the fact there's a good chance I was going to see a TikTok pop up, and it would have been confirmation. We could have just left it. Or I should have stopped when it was 2 hours in, because I think this week we will be doing just 2 hour streams just for my own benefit. But like I said, tomorrow maybe some maybe we'll start a lot earlier because even though unboxing stream might not be too much, it might be a good idea to start it. I didn't do it today because I was trying to sort stuff out because I said I was curious if I put both fan coolers in my room would it make the room a little bit more cooler, and it's working a bit more better. Like I said, it's also for sleeping on the bed because I want to make sure the entire room's cool. And I've got them both in the rotating things, so that's something. How much bait do I have? What was the plan again to get the bait up there? Oh, I'm out the worms. Let's go that then. No, I don't want that. Let's go over here, I reckon. Obviously, we will. Cause I'm just. Oh, that's not quite between those rocks. Also, we'll stop for lunch at some point when I start feeling hungry. I guess on the subject of Paimon's voice actor change, I did go on TikTok because I knew there was going to be like a lot of clips of people showing clips from the new voice actor and people discussing about it. And it does seem that it's not split. Most videos I saw, people prefer the new voice actor, new voice for Paimon, and there was only a small amount of people. One, it was from different videos and looking at the comment section, so it could vary if I actually looked at forums and stuff. But it definitely seemed like more people were for the new one than the old one, because a lot of people did not like, not the voice actor themselves. Well, partly that, but also the voice itself. And it does. It's one of those things in the new Paimon voice. It's probably just gonna. For me personally, I don't prefer it over the old one, but I don't dislike it either. It's just getting used to it. Is going to be the thing. Because at first I thought it did, because it sounded fairly similar. It almost sounds like a more softer version of the original voice. Holy fuck, that's a big stingray. Um, and it's gonna be interesting to see how the next couple of months go, because I don't think this is going, like I said, I don't think this is going to be like the Yoda situation where there's going to be so much outcry for the original voice actor they're going to go back on it, because like I said, the most that I saw, people were for the new voice and not for the old one. But we'll see what happens. Honestly, my personal opinion, if I was on Miho's situation, even if there was backlash from wanting the previous voice actor, they shouldn't go back to the previous one. Either you stick to your guns or you don't do it in the first place, because it's not fair on the current voice actor. Because voice acting isn't like what most people think it is. Not everyone is guaranteed to get a big role. And imagine getting a big role and then suddenly, because a bunch of fan entitlement wants the previous voice actor back, you're replaced, and then you just lost work. Decisions like these are never on the voice actors; it is on the company. And most voice actors will take those chances because there's not a guarantee they're going to get another role anytime soon. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope no one gives any hate to the new voice actor or anything. Because a lot of people, because as I said before, a lot of people aren't always following internet news, so a lot of people don't know the stuff with the voice actor, the previous voice actor. So for a lot of people, it'd be like, oh, I get in the voice I've heard for nearly 5 years is something different. But we'll see how things go, because obviously, like, a lot of patches are done in advance, so it's not a guarantee that they will. If they do change back, it would be fairly. Then again, between like the this was more soon than I expected as well. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I think it's alright. I'll probably get used to it, like usually with changes in characters, and we'll see where it goes. Mm. It's weird not having my earbuds in right now, because anyone's joining right now, I don't have my earbuds in because I'm expecting something from the post. And in between having two fans going, I'm not going to be able to hear the door properly with my earbuds in. And it's not like we're playing any dialogue, and I don't have text to speech. Have I? Oh, like I forget the number of fucking bait is in the corner of the screen. Like I said, having two on seems to be making somewhat of a difference, but when we shop, the problem is the icebox will last long enough before the next set of frozen solid again in the freezer, because that would shock me if they've already melted in this heat. But like I said, I might try tomorrow a three prong approach, because if a two prong approach with fans is work, cooler fans, uh, is going to work, then maybe three. I didn't have time because I had to go shopping this morning. Because when I saw that, because I got a text saying that the parcel from FedEx was coming between 9 and 1. I was like, it might not come around 9, but like I best go shopping because it was like around like 10 past 8 this morning. I was like, I should go shopping now just in case they do come out around 9 and I miss them. So I rushed that. Then I had to come back and do other stuff, and then filling them both up with water, and then putting the icebox on took more time than I expected. But But if this works, maybe 3 might work, especially when we're getting to Saturday. The thing is, Saturday does keep shifting because 1 minute it says it's 31, then it's 30, then it's 28. But we'll see with Saturday. No, I was thinking maybe Mario Kart World because we did start exploring the map and that didn't seem like too much, but then again I'm like maybe not. Because tomorrow we'll definitely like do the unboxing for the Novel Horizon figure, which is Fifi's one, which I said like the other week is the last of the 2023 ones that I pre-ordered. Because they took on way more than they could handle, and a lot got pushed back, and they tried to do too much more than they were equipped to do. They basically took on too many new ideas and didn't think they could. Because with Fifi's one, I think it was delayed because the plan was to have the entire clothes removed, and they realized that it was way too hard to do, so they scrapped it. Which on them, they offered a refund for those who were expecting removable clothing if they wanted a refund. I wasn't bothered either way personally, but yeah. But they are being more careful, like I said, with like their pre-orders because they're obviously all made to order, and they give like a proper far out so that people know when they're coming. Like I said with Amelie's one, that's that's all the that gone. Sometimes using I don't know. A part of me might want to go back to because we haven't played it in a while, and I think there's been some updates on it. Atlas, but something like that level of like combat heavy game might make me sweat more. That's the key thing. I want to choose games that don't cause me sweating while it's this hot. I'm gonna just actually no, because I was gonna check my phone to see if the temperature's changed because it can change wildly because of like things like oh jeez that's a lot. Let's just have a little check before this. No, Saturday is still 30. If it is 30, well, I said, well, I'll do, yeah, so it was like 28 tomorrow, not 26. What does it say? Yeah, because it's not going to hit like 29 till like around 4 by midday. By 12, it's going to be around 26, which is pretty hot, which could be the same for tomorrow. So, that's why I keep repeating myself. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how, like I said, we'll see how today goes. Like I said, today might just be a small 2-hour stream just for my own benefit. I was thinking about maybe not having the hand tracking and stuff off because I was thinking like maybe the less stuff on less heat. How it might be even good to do more PC games because that's less other devices on. Because then if my PS5 isn't on, then they're generating even less heat that way. Because maybe not playing the Switch would be a good thing to do as well. Because that's another thing that's going to be on generating heat. We are feeling this right now. The two cooler fans on. Plus, I keep mentioning this. The other problem getting an aircon is it has a hose that needs to be stuck out the window. Meaning I have to have the window off its latch fully open, and I can't do that with the cats in there because they might try and go out the window, and there's a fear they might fall off and hurt themselves. So I only have the windows on their latches. The biggest problem I feel like enough people have heard this as well, but like I think it's worth mentioning as well. Again, British homes keep the heat, designed to keep heat in because it's usually hot not hot throughout the year, so it makes sense. When the weather does cool down, it's still going to be hot indoors until all the heat gets ejected out. That's why most people will open all the windows and doors and stuff to let all that heat out when it does cool down. Unfortunately, once again, cats can't do that. Unfortunately. The thing is, these heat waves in the heat just feels like it's gotten worse over the last couple of years. Because I don't remember it being this bad beforehand, and it's probably just another example of global warming being the issue here. Of the weather, because that was the original reason why. Oh, we got this. Oh, see a new catch. Here it comes. Oh Lord, it be coming. Um, which makes more of the issue because that's the original reason for a lot of British people to not get air cons. Because usually, how heat waves would work would have heat maybe like 2, maybe 3 throughout summer, which is not, and they would be spaced far apart. But usually, also the temperature would drop drastically down, so it would go really high up to like around close to 28 to 30, and then drop directly down to like 20. But even though the weather is dropping down, it's only dropping down to like 24, 25, so it's still going to be fairly hot. It's not like a weather person. In this area, we're fucked. Touch wood. Let's hope it's not as bad as it was 3 years ago, where it went all the way up to 40. That was insane. Like I remember seeing the pictures of like from the for satellite pictures of the UK, where all like was like this east south air was all yellow, where there was green because the grass just got burnt. Well, not burnt, like scorched to yellow. It was even the same where I was there, where every grass I saw was just yellow from being blasted by the sun. That was also the week where I had COVID, which was, you can imagine, not the right time to get COVID during a massive heat wave. I remember like going out because I had to empty my bin because so like the COVID for me was just like having a really bad cold for me, so it wasn't that bad, but still had quite high fever, high temperature, high fever. But because what's my brain going? Because I'd filled my entire bin up with tissues from blowing my nose. I had to empty my bin, so I quickly went outside, ran as quick, put it in the wheelie bins outside, and got back in. And oh shit, hang on. Ooh, there's that button mashing there skills. It's gonna be a big one, isn't it? Holy shit, that's big. That is a big one. I can't even see, I can't even see it on the screen. Small whale. Small. That's small. I can't even turn the. I can't. Where's the camera? I can't angle. That is small. Wait, oh, that level does something really big. That's a small whale. Ha! Big boy there. Where was it? I went outside. This could if anyone's joined one. I'm talking about the big heat wave we had like 3 years ago when it got up to 40 degrees. I went out for like a couple of seconds to empty my bin and got back in. You know when you open the oven and you get blasted heat on your body? That's what that felt like. And I was only out there for a couple of seconds. It's one of those things I wasn't necessarily glad. I mean, granted, if I still had work, I could have literally just thrown them in and said, hey, it would be too dangerous for me to go because I have to cycle to work and I didn't have anyone to like bring me back and forth to work. It would have been completely not okay to go out in that kind of heat. But I said, touch wood. It doesn't happen this year. It feels like it might get to that, but let's hope it doesn't get to like 40 degrees here. I think the highest it got last year was like 32. That was a big boy, that fish was. It's no, the lobby isn't open. I'm playing offline at the moment. I might actually need to pee in a minute. Well, this heat is causing me to drink more, but also causing me to pee more. Go after this catch. Because for anyone who might be from like elsewhere, right now in the UK, we're dealing with a really bad heat wave. I've got two goddamn fans on. It's making somewhat of a difference. Ooh, a hammerhead shark. Right, I am going to go pee now. Right, I need to. Wait, where's the mouse? Where's my mouse? Yeah, there it is. Okay. No, don't fish. Don't. No, we're not fishing in the sand. There we go. So I will be back in a moment while I go take a pee break. Mm. I guess sorry, the heat's been getting to me. I should really explain why if anyone is doing why I'm playing offline, it's just it's really hot, and I have to deal with shenanigans of other people being in the game with me, and plus I probably won't be like streaming for very long because today might be just a short 2 hour stream as well. So I just want to chill and do some fishing and chatting while we do so. Right, I'm gonna go pee. Oh, I feel better. I feel better after that. Right. I think what we'll do as well, probably do a couple more fishing and then we'll pause for a lunch break and watch some TikToks. Hopefully my parcel doesn't come in between that time because I'm waiting for some also to be coming in the post. No, okay, we'll all right, we'll fish in the sand then. uh, trying. Oh, we've got one more bait left. I think we got a huge one as well, which was a whale. Which said small whale, so I'd imagine what the fucking. Oh wait, I can hold them, can't I? So it's been a while since I last played this. It's been like I think well over a month. As I said before, we're dealing a heat wave in the UK and trying to choose games that don't, require much focus. Something chilled, something nice we can just play for today's stream. Webfishing came into mind. Oh. Ooh, a swordfish. Alright, let's so I'm using the controls, so I'm trying to remember like oh, that's that. That's the same as that. There we go. There we go. I think it will say it's using it this. Oh, well, let's see. I'm curious to see if I can like. Nope. Oh, there it is. Oh, come on. What? It's not. Unless that is here, isn't it? Catches. There we go. I mean, look at this thing. I still can't rotate the camera. Look at it. It's so big you can barely move. Woo! Put it back. Oh no, that's not the button. How do I? How do I? How do I put it back? Oh, I can't. There we go. There we go. I can barely rotate the camera to see this fucking thing. It's called a. Listen to the small whale. Can I? No, that's not a little wave. There we go. Did that put him away? Nope, that didn't put him a whale. This is on me. I should have gathered something this big was on it. I suppose just. Oh, I know what. No, no, not that bad. It's. Oh, I know what I gotta do. There we go. I mean, I could sell the whale, or put in an aquarium. Oh, you know what? While we're passing by this guy, might as well. Ooh. See, there's the thing. That's a lot of money. I think I already have a lot. Oh, damn it. Fuck, I'm gonna put the fucking small whale in the aquarium. Oh, I already have something in the aquarium. Well, it's coming out like either way. Oh wait, I forget. Buttons again. This one. Nope. Why does it get this up? Okay. Go. Let's put you in. it's it's so big. It's sticking out of the aquarium. Oh, this is fucking brilliant. Okay, we're leaving this in here because it's just too funny not to. I'm just going to sell the rest of my shit and see if we can't purchase some more stuff as well. Ooh. Damn it. You know what? I should use the mouse. We also leveled up as well. That's right, I do have a chest in my inventory as well. Go chest. And then there we go. I also noticed that this showed new one here, so let's see what we unlocked. Oh, a face. Oh. I look shocked almost all the time. Oh. It's like it looks like a mouse gaping for something else. Yeah. But I like the dim, and I guess just titles. I went past it. Oh well. Right. Time to see what we can purchase. And then we'll take a lunch break. Ooh. Ooh. Better bait means better catches. So, yeah. No, damn it. Yeah, yeah, no, we're getting the better bait. And we'll sell all these fuckers. No, damn it. I got some money back, but I don't think we get anything with it. Ain't worth getting at least. Huh? It's a bomb. Huh? Okay. Didn't really check what else he had as well. I guess I've got some more laws as well. That might be a good idea. Allows catchers to allows catch seawater fish no matter the body of. Oh, I see. I think. Oh, and then, yeah, basically I can use these in any bottle of water for whatever I want. Real, real, real quicker and gain rod power. Rod power. Uh, Stick with what I've got for now, I guess. I'm kind of curious to see what happens if we use the different bait now. No, buttons. There we go. Like, what different fish will we get? Let's try one in each different body of water. One in fresh water and then one in seawater and see what we get. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, button mashing master. What you got for me? Well, okay. Neat. Alrighty then, let's go. Which is raining right now in real life. Clear up the humidity here. And I don't know why I'm leaning right now. I'm not leaning in real life, but can I cast more further enough that it would actually reach from here? Yes, kinda. I think I'll sip water while I wait. Guarantee in the next second or two, if this doesn't pull up, the door's gonna knock and I'm gonna have to just leave it. That'd be just my luck. See anyone? Yeah. I do feel sorry for anyone who is delivering post in this heat. Because right now, next Saturday is going to be like 27 degrees here, which isn't as bad as what this Saturday is going to be when it's going to be around 30 degrees. Because the other. God damn it. It's definitely gone whole. Because the other fan has like a temperature thing on it, so it tells me what the temperature of the room is. A while ago it was 26 degrees in my room, but now it's 27. Which is just great. Oh. Tuna. Big ass tuna. Right. Oh, I'm gonna click that so I can move it now up. Okay. Right. I'm gonna go and grab my lunch and watch some TikToks. I'm gonna have to close the game to get them up on the same monitor though. Right. I'll be back in a minute.
Time for some unlearning.
Right. Oh yeah. I completely forgot I had the hand cam on last time. Uh, This is the last TikTok was on from yesterday. Oh, yeah, I should put change the category because we're not playing web fishing at the moment. Hold on. Hold on a second. Here's my bedroom. It's just near the doorway, so I can see the posters that come. Well, I heard something. Yeah, things as usual. Okay. Right. Well, okay, that happened. So I have the stream manager up, and it basically shows basically everything from streams as well as the video, and obviously it's on a delay. So if something happens when I'm not looking, I will see it on the delay, and I saw myself just go fucking haywire. I'm gonna mute myself while we eat, go lunch break, and then go back to web fishing. I'm gonna keep one earbud out still in case the post comes. Don't want to miss that. If it does, I'll probably just frankly run downstairs. So if I disappear, and well, if the model goes funny, it probably means I disappeared to go downstairs because it might be muted when that happens.
Have you ever wondered why the weather in the UK is so painfully unpredictable? Like,
Very topical considering what's happening right now.
why is it sunny at 9 a.m., raining by lunch, and then hailing for no reason on your walk home? Well, the UK is basically sitting in the middle of a weather battlefield. We've got 5 major air masses all fighting over us at once. From the south, you've got warm, humid air coming from the tropics. From the north, freezing cold air sliding down from the Arctic. Then there's the Atlantic Ocean slamming us with wet, windy air from the west. Sometimes we even get dry air from Central Europe, either hot and sticky in summer or bitter and sharp in the winter. And don't forget the jet stream, a high-altitude river of wind that basically drags storm systems across the UK like a conveyor belt from hell. Depending on which one's winning that day, you either get a heat wave, a thunderstorm, or 20 minutes of sun followed by a biblical downpour. So why are the forecasts always wrong? Because even a 1-degree shift in wind direction can completely change what hits us. That rain cloud they said would miss London? Yeah, it turned left. The UK weather really is broken. And your weather app, it's just guessing. It might as well say, maybe rain, maybe not. Bring a coat, just in case. Have you ever wondered why...
This is a perfect example of what explains why sometimes it could be hot, maybe not hot, not tomorrow. This is why I can't really know if I'm going to stream, because I could check then it's like, oh, it's 28, that's not too bad, and it skyrockets to 30 or drops completely down. That's why Saturday is such a mystery, because right now it still says 30, but the other day it said 31, so it could go lower.
Why the weather in the UK is so...
Wacky Pomo, short for Wacky Postmodern, was the loud, chaotic design language of kid culture. It was everywhere, on birthday party cups, fast food trays, toy packaging, school supplies, even in the shows that we watched. This style pulled from a wild mashup of influences. The Memphis design, 1940s to 1960s comics and cartoons, and this sort of design would typically include hypnosis spirals, slime, mad scientists, space lasers, cartoonish tech, wild amusement parks, playgrounds, and slime-covered logos. Everything was exaggerated and tilted like it was caught mid-explosion, and the colors were typically acid, bright, neon, and clashing on purpose. I feel like it was kind of meant to overload your brain because that's what worked on kids. You saw it in shows like The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Cyber Chase, Nickelodeon commercials, and basically every toy aisle from the 1980s to 2004. It was weird, loud, and borderline hypnotic, and yes, there were controversies around how intentionally overstimulating kid marketing had become. By the mid-2000s, wacky postmodernism disappeared, and the clean design took over. But this design did not care about minimalism, it just wanted to feel like fun, and for a generation of kids, that's exactly what it did. Wacky
I kind of miss that wacky, like, late 90s, early 2000s. So that was so cool. It's like, let's have fun with stuff. Now it has to be dry and boring.
Warner Brothers had one rule for Christopher Nolan before they gave him Batman, but as it turns out, he was perfectly fine with it. Batman Begins turns 20 years old this week, so here's some things I bet you never knew about it. The story behind Batman starts in New York City in 1939. After DC, then known as Detective Comics, found success with Superman, its editors demanded more superheroes. And so Bob Kane and Bill Finger created Batman, a master detective with a brooding personality driven by the murder of his parents, who dressed up with the silhouette of a bat. Batman would of course become one of the most iconic fictional characters of the 20th century, appearing in more than 8,400 comic book issues and dozens of TV shows and movies. Batman first came to the screen in a 1943 serial film series starring Lewis Wilson, and was later brought to life on television and in the movies in the 1960s by Adam West. The Adam West Batman was produced by Greenway Productions and 20th Century Fox. But in 1969, the parent company that owned Warner Brothers acquired the parent company that owned DC Comics, and so the DC characters from then on became part of the WB family. In 1989, Warner Brothers and Tim Burton adapted Batman for the modern blockbuster age. That $411 million hit spawned the sequels Batman Returns and Batman Forever. Then in 1996, Warner Brothers goes into production on a fourth Batman movie, Batman and Robin. It liked what it was seeing from director Joel Schumacher, so it told them to start developing a fifth Batman movie, titled Batman Unchained, which would have included Scarecrow and Harley Quinn. But then Batman and Robin hit theaters in 1997 and was a disaster, so Warner Brothers abandoned the follow-up project. In the
I've never seen those Batman movies. The only live action ones I've seen is the Christopher Nolan ones, and I guess the Zack Snyder ones. Which never actually. That's the side note. Just as around the side time, we'll get watching this video. That's kind of where I feel sorry for Ben Affleck. He never actually got his Batman solo movie. He only ever showed it as a cameo account, and that kind of sucks. What how the new DC reboot ends up being a lot better now. Anyway, let's watch back to this video about the Dark Knight movies.
Late 90s and early 2000s, the studio developed and nearly went into production on a number of live-action Batman movies. There was a Batman vs. Superman movie from director Wolfgang Peterson, Darren Aronofsky was hired for a Batman Beyond movie, and then later a Batman Year One adaptation. Joaquin Phoenix, Freddie Prinze Jr., and Christian Bale's names were all in the mix on those doomed projects, but none of
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was what that was kind of going for with his Batman, was a more older Batman who's been doing the that shit for a long time. Mm.
them ended up happening. So it was now 2003 and Warner Brothers needed to keep the franchise going. So, one, it decided to make Catwoman starring Halle Berry. We all know how that turned out. And two, it hired Memento director Christopher Nolan and Blade writer David S. Goyer to take their stab at a mainline Batman film. Nolan wanted to go back to the beginning. As he told Variety in 2004, his goal was, quote, to do the origin story of the character, which is a story that's never been told before. And by that, I think he means it's never been told in full detail on the big screen. Nolan was committed to making it grounded and realistic. Quote, the world of Batman is that of grounded reality. It will be a recognizable, contemporary reality against which an extraordinary heroic figure arises. Nolan was heavily influenced by the relatable human drama of Richard Donner's Superman and intentionally wanted to hire big-name actors to give it an epic feel and credibility. Warner Brothers had just one stipulation for Nolan. The movie had to be PG-13, which was fine by the director because, quote, my view was that this is a movie I wanted to see when I was 11 years old. So in my mind, it's always been PG-13. And this is why the movie isn't especially gory or bloody. Nolan's jumping off point was the 1989 comic book story The Man Who Falls, that focused on Bruce Wayne's travels across the world as a young man. The scene of a young Bruce falling into a well was adapted from that comic. The Long Halloween also inspired David S. Goyer and led to them using Carmine Falcone. They considered having Harvey Dent in the movie, but ultimately replaced him with this new character, Rachel Dawes, because they felt they couldn't do Harvey justice in this film. They borrowed Bruce's absence from Gotham for Batman Year One as setup for their screenplay. And Jim Gordon's character in the film was also heavily influenced by Year One. They chose the Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul as the villains because they had never been depicted in live action before. In other Batman stories, Bruce Wayne sees a Zorro film when he's young, which inspires his vigilantism. Christopher Nolan
Which made sense to go with that kind of Batman, because the last thing you want to do is see the origin story again. uh, which is going to be interesting with the new DCU. What they are they going to do the origin story? To be fair, when we think of like no, actually, because they did actually show a flashback of his origin, if I remember correctly, in the Zack Snyder ones in the Batman v Superman. So we did see a bit of that story. Hmm. I'm going to go back to eating.
Nolan ignored this idea because he wanted Bruce to come up with being a hero on his own. And for that reason, Nolan believes other DC superheroes do not exist in this universe. The most famous casting story from Batman Begins is that Josh Hartnett met with Chris Nolan for the role of Batman, but ultimately decided not to pursue it. Christian Bale, meanwhile, beat out Aeon Bailey, Henry Cavill, Billy Crudup, Hugh Dancy, Jake Gyllenhaal, Joshua Jackson, David Boreanaz.
Such an interesting thing that Henry Cavill could have been one, being that that's such an interesting world to think about him as Batman. I mean, they could still do it. I mean, because in the new reboot one with James Gunn, I had to think for a second. Jason Momoa is playing a different character, but he's playing a villain in that one. So Henry Cavill will come back for Batman, and this would be really weird, though. Hmm. Nice. That's what they were going for. Ah, sorry, my banana. Not my banana fell off. The actual banana, the fruit, not my dick. All floppy and it fell in my hand. Take that out of context. Banana all over my hand. But the whole problem was Warner Bros. Rushing too much too quick. If they just took their time with those movies, they could have actually been really good. Mm. I'm gonna oh.
Heath Ledger, and Cillian Murphy for the role. The final three were Bale, Bailey, and Murphy. They wore Val Kilmer's batsuit for the audition and read with Amy Adams, who stepped in as a reader as a favor to the casting director. So Christian Bale gets the part, and he had just lost a bunch of weight for The Machinist, so he hired a personal trainer and put on 100 pounds of muscle in just a few months for the film. He ended up actually overshooting that goal by about 30 pounds and had to lose that weight quickly. Nolan first offered the role of Alfred to Anthony Hopkins, who turned it down. So then he personally visited Michael Caine at home to deliver the script and the offer. Gary Oldman was Nolan's first choice for Henry Ducard, aka Ra's al Ghul, but when Chris Cooper turned down the part of Jim Gordon, Nolan made Oldman Gordon instead. Chris Nolan then discussed Henry with Guy Pearce, who starred in Memento, but they realized he'd be too young. Viggo Mortensen was considered for the role at one point before Liam Neeson got the part. Nolan cast Katie Holmes in the movie thanks to her, quote, tremendous warmth and great emotional appeal. Robert Downey Jr. was considered for the Scarecrow before Nolan gave it to Cillian Murphy. Jack Gleason, who'd later played Joffrey in Game of Thrones, has a small part in the film, and he was personally recommended by Christian Bale after they worked together on Reign of Fire. For the film's design, Nolan was heavily influenced by Blade Runner. Production designer Nathan Crowley built a model of Gotham City in Nolan's garage and drew inspiration from New York, Chicago, and Tokyo. The Narrows were inspired by the now demolished walled city of Kowloon in Hong Kong. The Tumbler was created from scratch. They designed and built 4 completely real, street-ready models of the Batmobile, costing
Well, yeah, because you got to think about the time frame, like because this was because the Man of Steel came out a year after the first Avengers movie, which was huge, and they saw that and wanted to get there as quickly as possible. Yeah, but you shouldn't have had. But like knowing how they got there was by doing several standalone movies of the heroes that was going to be in that, which they should have done first of all. We should have got the Superman movie, then Batman, a solo Batman movie afterwards, then a Wonder Woman, then Aquaman, and then a Flash movie, and then a Justice League movie.
$250,000 each. One of the four had an actual jet engine mounted to it, fueled by 6 propane tanks. Visibility inside the vehicles was pretty bad, so it had cameras on the outside and video monitors on the inside so the stunt drivers could see where they were going. The drivers practiced driving the cars for 6 months before driving them on the streets of Chicago during production. The interior of the Tumbler was then a stagnant set on a soundstage, and they also used a remote-controlled miniature for some of the shots. But when the Tumbler goes through the waterfall, that was real. Nolan made sure that his batsuit was more flexible and mobile than previous incarnations. Likewise, the cowl was made to be thin enough to allow motion, but thick enough not to wrinkle. The British Ministry of Defense helped costume designer Lindy Hemming create a cape that was made from parachute nylon that had electrostatic flocking. Fight choreographers Justo Dieguez and Andy Norman trained the actors and stunt performers in the Spanish Kizi fighting method, a self-defense system whose training is based on the study and cultivation of natural instincts. Warner Brothers set the budget at $150 million, and filming began on Batman Begins in March 2004. A glacier in Iceland stood in for Bhutan, where the crew built a village and the facade of Ra's al Ghul's temple. Weather was a big challenge in Iceland as they fought rain and 75-mile-per-hour winds. Nolan shot Gotham City exteriors in London, New York, and Chicago to make it feel like a real city. Mentmore Towers in England served as a location for Wayne Manor. The National Institute for Medical Research building in Mill Hill was Arkham Asylum's exterior, while the St. Pancras railway station and Abbey Mills pumping stations were used for its interiors. They shot courtroom scenes at the Senate House of University College London. In Chicago, they convinced the city to raise the Franklin Street Bridge for one shot. But the majority of the film was shot on sound stages at Shepperton Studios in the UK, where they built the Batcave set, measuring 250 feet long, 120 feet wide, and 40 feet high. And it featured a real 14,000-gallon waterfall built with 12 water pumps. And they also turned an airship hangar in Bedfordshire into a soundstage, which was where they built the Narrows and part of the monorail. They also built scale models for the Narrows.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, because that's why Batman's name is first, because they figured, well, that would get more people, because that's why it's Batman v Superman, because they thought that would get more people. But yeah, it would have made more sense for it to have been like after the Batman and Superman movie. But it just shows what happens when you rush yourself to something, not take your time with stuff.
And Ra's al Ghul's temple. Production wrapped in September of 2004. During post-production, CGI was used to create establishing shots of Gotham, Wayne Tower, and the monorail. The third act monorail sequence was a mix of live-action footage, model work, and CGI. The flocks of bats seen in the film were also entirely CGI. For the music, Nolan first approached Hans Zimmer, but Zimmer asked if he could also bring on James Newton Howard, and the two composers worked separately to create individual themes for Bruce and Batman. Zimmer didn't want this score to sound like any previous Batman movie, so he used a combination of orchestra and electronic music. In early 2005, some industry insiders worried that Batman Begins might underperform at the box office because Christian Bale wasn't a big enough star, it didn't have recognizable villains, the last Batman movie was a disaster, and Katie Holmes was attached to Tom Cruise, who had just jumped on Oprah's couch. Batman Begins opened on 3,858 screens in the US on June 15th, 2005, and it brought in $48.7 million opening weekend, which was fine. It would go on to gross $373 million total worldwide, more than doubling its budget, which means that it turned a modest profit. It would then bring in an additional $167 million on DVD.
I kind of like it. The only problem with me right now, I am feeling like kind of the superhero fatigue. So of late, I haven't been really that much in the mood for seeing superhero movies. But what I will say about the new Superman movie, it feels more Superman, if that makes any sense. Like, I like the Zack Snyder ones, but like something like just feeling like colorful and vibrant and feeling like what the antithesis of Superman is about hope bring hope, and that seeing all of it just looks amazing. My only problem with it is there's a lot of characters being introduced this movie, and I'm worried it's going to be like too much for people to get grasp on. Hmm. Is my main problem, because how much screen time is each hero and villain gonna have? Is it gonna overbloat the movie? Because the point of an adaptation is to get both people in, people who are a fan of the source material and people who aren't the fan of the source material. And having too many heroes or villains that most people might not be aware of is going to confuse most people who don't know who they are, and you need to give enough time to explain who they are, but not take up too much of the movie. We'll see what happens, because it's out next month, July.
Its first year. Critics really like this new Batman. Today, 85% of the 287 reviews assessed by Rotten Tomatoes are positive. Audiences gave it an A cinema score in theater exit polls. It was nominated for dozens of awards, including one Oscar, Best Cinematography, which it lost to Memoirs of a Geisha. Christian Bale won an MTV Movie Award for Best Hero, while Katie Holmes was nominated for a Razzie. The movie, of course, spawned the sequels The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, which directly led to the gritty and dark tone of the DC Extended Universe. But Batman Begins was also massively influential on the culture in a lot of other ways. Basically, any genre film that was dark and gritty that came after Batman Begins is in its debt. The movie also popularized the idea of the reboot, where big screen franchises could start over from the beginning. And it gave a lot of credibility to the superhero genre in general. In 2012, Kevin Feige told Wired, Chris Nolan's Batman is the greatest thing that happened to superhero films because it bolstered everything. From Jon Favreau to Hugh Jackman to Patty Jenkins to Sam Mendes, all of these writers, actors, and directors listed below later cited Batman Begins as influential on their work. And if you've made it to the end of this video, drop a bat emoji in the comments. Also, if you want more deep dives in pop culture news, subscribe to my newsletter. Warner
Finishing, but we'll have a little bit more talk on this. It's true that the Batman movies were the reason why they went such for a dark tone, because it worked for Batman, not so much Superman, though. Uh, mm, James Gunn. Mm. Oh, so, yeah, I see. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see what happens with the Superman movie and stuff. Hopefully nail it. Hopefully nail it. There's another reason why I might even wait and see to the reviews, because there's so much to consume these days. And jumping onto a new starting point, and if it ends up going the same route as the previous DCU, it feels like a waste of time. So a lot of people are still like apprehensive, because although the movie looks good, we're talking about this as the starting point again for the expanded universe with Superman again. Because it's also going up against the Fantastic Four, if I remember correctly, as well, which also looks good as well. So, then again, Marvel hasn't been doing pretty good either. And movies also would be. Hmm. I generally do hope they don't have him for every movie, because I think that's also kind of the problem they're having with the previous DCUs. Because I don't think Zack Snyder was directing all of them, but I think he did see over a lot of them. That's why all of them had that dark tone. It is good to have that kind of a little bit of balance, because early MCUs, each movie did feel different from the other, and most of them still do today because they had different directors directing them, but still made sure it kept in within the universe. Ugh. But I get why they want James Gunn, because he hasn't had any misses, to say at least, with the superhero stuff. Because all three Guardians of the Galaxy movies were amazing. I heard the Suicide Squad movie he did was great as well. We can continue these discussions while we play web fishing. That's the part of the reason why we're doing web fishing. It's a perfect game for chatting, and in this heat, it's also a perfect game that won't cause me to sweat too much. So I'm gonna go grab myself another glass of water because I drank all what I have, and we'll switch back to web fishing. Okay. All right, I'm back. Got a nice glass of water. Cause as I said before, we are experiencing a heat wave in the UK right now, and it's oh, oh, it's, it just sucks. Got two fans on, which seems to be making somewhat of a difference. Get, get, get. Hmm. Mm. The only reason I've been feeling fatigue on superhero stuff is I'm not really sure because I'm easily entertained. It takes a lot for me to actually hate anything. Out of the DCEU that I saw, the only one I didn't like was the first Suicide Squad movie. But other than that, the other ones I did see, I thought were some were really good and some were all right. But it's just I've hit my point where I'm just not in the mood for anything superhero related at the moment. Like I haven't even watched the recent season of Invincible. Apparently that's very good. There was Thunderbolts. Apparently that was good. It's just like eh. Maybe it is just too much constantly being released. Sometimes less is more can be better. Oh, or even like My Hero, even anime related superhero stuff, because there's that spin-off series My Hero Vigilante. I can't say the word properly. Was it I Want to Be Hero X? That's another superhero stuff. I mean, my problem was just like the Suicide Squad movie, because I think Margot Robbie was fantastic as Harley Quinn. It was just like it 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 felt like I had an identity crisis that it wasn't sure what it wanted to be. Was my issue with it. There's points where it feels like it was trying to be like Guardians of the Galaxy, but then sometimes it wasn't. Um, and then there's that line of always some sort of Suicide Squad. Like there's good ways of name dropping a movie's title. That was not one. The Justice League movie I thought was fine, like not bad, not amazing, just okay. I never watched the Snyder cut because they ain't no way I'm gonna sit for 4 hours of something that's probably just gonna be somewhat better than what the original was. I think. Watched the movie was like 3 years ago. Line from the. I saw it when it came out. Not in the cinemas. I waited until like it came to like a DVD and stuff, and she's just in Blu-ray and rented it, and I was like, I think what made me mad was it was another one of those ones that it felt like they tried to change it at the last minute as well with the tone and stuff. Where if they, it's another example. If I feel like they left it alone or left it what its real vision was, it might have been a little bit better. but it has been a while because that was 2016 it came out, that the first Suicide Squad movie. So that's almost a decade ago. Yeah, that's almost a decade ago. I didn't watch the James Gunn one, like, because like I think after the Justice League movie I was just like, no, wait, no, no, I did see the Wonder Woman movie, which was actually okay. I think it was just the point of just like Marvel was doing more stuff, and it's just trying to, like, find the time for both. Is the case um with a lot of this, because I didn't see the Aquaman movie or the and basically anything else that came after the Wonder Woman movie. Ah, I see. Uh, which does. Mm, Let's just hope that doesn't end up being the case with him at the head for the DCU. I don't want everything just to feel like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Variety could be good. Like I said, like, I think Superman being more light-hearted and more this whole colorful thing works because that's kind of Superman's whole thing. The dark and tone stuff works for Batman. Ah. Gore is one of those things I can deal with to a degree. One of the reasons I've never watched The Boys is because that pushes way past my limit of what I can handle. As long as the gore isn't on that level of gore, I probably would be fine watching it. Think about it, doesn't that one have Idris Elba in it? So he's been in both a DC and a Marvel movie now. Ugh. I'm gonna go somewhere else now and fish. I'm fishing the seawater now. Ah, up. How do I jump again? That's how I jump. Well, like I said, I wasn't gonna watch it either way because the gore and it's just too much for me to handle. I think I saw like one scene for it somewhere, and I was like, mm. I heard the recent season of Invincible was good. I bring my dead on me. The heat. I think the heat is starting to really get to me today. Ooh, that's a big fish. I'm going to. Somewhere else to fish. I mean, it's what the movie industry does a lot. When something's very popular, they just turn out too much of it, and I think it just is just too much for me to just watch all of it. And it's just like, I mean, I think the same is probably gonna be happening like with video game and animated live actions. It's gonna constantly pumping those out. And everyone with how man, I'm thinking, think that can happen. It's probably because of the meme. If I'm being really honest with me, that's why I watched it. It's the power of memes. They can make people want to watch something they normally don't want to watch. A good example on this is when the Sherlock series, the BBC one, the one was like modern Sherlock, when that came out, I remember trying to suggest it to my sister. Had no interest in watching it. She saw dozens of memes online on it. Then she decided to watch it. So you can be surprised how well memes can make things. I mean, even with like was it Morbius? Fucking Sony thought because people were memeing about it a lot. If they put it in the cinemas, people will go and see it. No one did. Again, they put it in again, which was so funny because it flopped twice. That which just shows sometimes it doesn't always work. That's just like an example where it doesn't always necessarily work. With memes. On the subject of think mark, people always misquote that. But he only says think once, but people go think mark think. He only says think once. Hmm. The only point I will say that the issue so sad for me is the animation quality. Kind of going. It's not like terrible. It's not like on the same levels of Seven Deadly Sins. Of animation, but it is very like. Which is the problem when someone gets popular, rather than take the time to make the animation good, they'd rather rush it out for the demand. Good animation takes a long time to make. That's why when I saw like the final Spider-Verse movie is not coming out until 2027, I'm like, good, take the time to make the animation good, because in something like this, story is important too, but also good in animated form. So is the animation. Don't just half-ass it. You want to get it out more sooner. The funniest, stupidest thing is I've seen people dead ass say they would rather have that. They'd rather have lesser quality animation if it meant they got the story sooner. It's based off a comic book. If you want to know what happens next, go read the comic book. Because of that mentality, studios feel they need to get out quicker. I mean, like, well, I haven't gone around to watching it just yet, but like the recent, well, I say recent came out a while ago. This Stu Ghibli film, The Boy and the Heron, that took them 7 years to make, and it looks fucking amazing. Or there's a lot of the indie animations on YouTube, which look even better animated than fucking Invincible does half the time. Which is not good when a small team of people can make something look amazing versus a big production of an animated team. don't think that. Mm, good. Hmm. I mean, one of the reasons I got into anime as a kid was just how amazing the animation looked. And not to say like Western animation can't be on the same level as well. If they actually put the time and effort they can. I think that's where I watched Digimon was on the Fox Kids channel. At least it was here in the UK. I think it was like shown somewhere else in the US. Oh. Mm. Oh. Mm. So I'm getting a little stiff and stretch the limbs a little bit. What's what's more kind of silly is that in the second season of of I don't know if it was part of the team to call it out, but they actually make a joke or like a statement about animation, how they cut corners and that people don't notice. Like they're basically calling out that they don't put effort in, they cut corners and certain things because the scene in question is Mark's going to a version of Comic Con and he's talking to a guy about his comic being turned into an animated series and he talks how much they take cuts. Like they'll show shots of people's eyes so they don't have to animate mouths, or they'll show a shot of crowd but the crowd's not actually moving because it's but it looks like it's because it's so far away. Um, uh, Sort of thing. So that's another way of telling if they don't put effort is if there's constant shots of their eyes or a shot of a crowd that's not actually moving, but because it's so small it looks like it probably is, or their hands covering their mouths so they don't have to animate the mouth movements as well. Ugh. But, but what's interesting, not to say on animation, but I was just thinking about something else that peeked into mind. I saw something from Expedition 33 where they're showing their mocap, and for the facial captures they just used iPhones, and that shit looks really good captured, showing that you don't always need expensive equipment to make something look good. Uh, hmm. Well, most Gen Zs, I would say, don't respect animation because one of the VTubers that I follow is a Gen Z, and she's like a huge anime fan, very critiquing on animation as well as I do as well. Um, but yeah, mm. Really depends whereabouts in Gen Zs because if you're talking about the ones that are born like close to the end of the '90s, maybe not. But I think the ones that are close to like the mid 2000s, you know, Gen Z's from people I think it's born like 97 to 2009. Ugh. Well, like I said, I haven't seen the recent one that came out a couple of years ago, but a lot of people like that one, The Boy and the Heron, which was 2 years ago now. Because I was going to see it in the cinema, but my local cinema wasn't showing it, so I couldn't see it in the cinema. I don't know why it wasn't. It just wasn't. I was going to wait for it to come to streaming services, and it is. I think it's on Netflix. I just haven't gotten around to it. I said, so much to consume these days, trying to find the time to just sit down and watch an hour and a half movies. Tricky at times. Oh. Oh, okay, sorry. You know what I'm going to do? I usually wait until at least 2 hours to try and stand, but I think I'm going to stand right now, because this, sitting in this chair in this heat, my fucking balls are sticking to my thighs. Oh. You know, actually, I'm going to tie my hair back as well. I want to long hair. Can't do me. Oh, fuck, it's fish. I thought it wasn't bad. I was trying to stream today, but I thought maybe having 2 fans I might make a difference. Ugh. It is making somewhat of things, but it could be the ice cubes the blocks in them might have already melted. I don't think the other ones in the freezer are solid yet. Still waiting for that parcel from fucking I don't have my earbuds in right now, which I don't really need to for a game like this, but I'm expecting a parcel from my brain went dead, from FedEx. It's supposed to be coming between 9 and 1, and it's almost 1. I want to make sure I can hear the door when they knock so I don't miss them. Good to stretch this as well. Ooh. Oh, I've got no bait. I was like, oh, what's going on? Oh. Okay, now I can fish. Well, that's good. Nice, good stretch. Said this before, but I'm 34 and I can still bend my knees just fine. I don't know where the joke is that when you reach 30s you can't bend your knees. I can bend them all the way to the ground and get back up with no issues whatsoever. I don't know what most people did in their 20s with their knees to the point where they get fucked by the time they're 30. Take another sip of water. Oh, I think tying my hair back helps as well. Oh. Because I'm waiting for a figure to come in the post, which we might do an unboxing for that tomorrow. I don't think I'll have time today. If it comes around, especially if it comes around 1, because I gotta be done by at least 3. Because I have to get ready for work. Now the questions can last until that long, because as time goes on, the hotter it gets. I'm doing okay at the moment. I don't know what the temperature is right now. It's 27 right now here. But what does my... It's the same one of the fans has a temperature thingy on it. It says 27 in the room as well. Can't wait for this damn heat wave to be over. Won't be until like this Sunday. Saturday's the worst. 30 at 30. Well, there's another debate if I'm going to stream then as well. Ugh. I think the smart thing we'll do will go for maybe like a maybe a little longer, about 14-ish minutes, and probably call it for today. Because like I said, with this heat wave, streams are probably going to be quite short. Uh, for this week. At least hopefully for this week. I'm going to check next week because it's been changing. Because the slight change in wind here in the UK and suddenly it shifts so drastically. Yeah, no, next week's a little bit better. Somewhat better. Oh, I didn't realize I hit the camera. Oh, well, never mind. We're going to have to have this angle. Oh, fuck. What the hell? What the heck happened? What happened there? Did it not grab? I pressed the button to do it and it just went, nope. Because as I said before, I was like, maybe thinking about starting a lot earlier tomorrow. Maybe like start around 10-ish. See how things go. But if it definitely stays, because that's where Saturday's still a debate. Because although it says it's 30, that could change in between that time. But if it definitely is going to be 30, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't stream at all. I'll see what it is in the morning. Because it's not necessarily going to be that temperature immediately as I get up. It's going to be throughout the day as it passes. Ugh. Oh, what? What's the matter? Hello. Right. I thought one of the cats is in here because I don't know why he wants to be in this room, huh? That's why I have two fans on for both our sakes. Huh? And he's got a bowl of water in here. I put some ice in there earlier for him, so if he's thirsty, he will get a drink. Fun fact about cats that I found out a while ago: cats are apparently lazy drinkers. If their water is somewhere else, like as an example downstairs, they won't even go for it, even if they're thirsty. So like, if you have cats and they're in the water bowls downstairs, especially during this weather, it might be a good idea to have a water bowl in your room so they have something to drink. See the Felix guy, yeah. You know, I have my earbuds in, probably helps. Maybe I might do the same for tomorrow, even though I would want to hear, because we probably have like, you know, a BGM playing the background music. Might be better that way, less hot things in my ears. Oh, hammerhead shark. I think what we'll do, we'll use up all the current bait I have, and and uh, and sell all the fish and stuff, um, and then we'll probably call it for today. Then again, depending how long it takes in between each catches, maybe we'll go somewhere else, I guess. Does he walk? Does he walk slowly? This, oh, that's the button to swing. Okay, there we go. Press the wrong button as usual. Let's go around here, I think. Don't see anything yet. It wouldn't be surprising if I check in the next couple of minutes for the tracking, the time between the changes. I never get lucky when I'm collecting a package. I never get lucky. It is very rare that it comes before I have to go to work. Very rarely. Sometimes it's like an hour just before I have to go for work, which is still somewhat okay. Oh, it's a squid. I think we've already gotten a big squid before. Oh. Oh, this is full of fish. No, we've got one more like 8 left. Actually, you know what? I think I should probably play it smart, and we'll just use these last 2 crickets and then call it. Because I'm just figuring out the time to get back. Right now, I think you respawn button. I forget that's a thing. This could just do that, but still, it might be best to because the heat. It's interesting because, like I said, the 2 fans worked. I got a third one which was small because it was like. I got 2 like glass. I got one that was small because these types of fans where you stick like water in it and you stick like ice blocks in it and it's supposed to like push out like cold air water, which somewhat works. I got like a small one, thinking it was going to be enough, and it wasn't. Then I got a slightly bigger one, and that was somewhat enough. And that was last year, and this year I wanted something much better. On an Amazon review as it was, mainly because of the cats. And so I'd have both on, and since it's working, I might get the third one out for tomorrow and see how that goes. And once again, just in case anyone new might be here from the US, aircons are expensive, take up a lot of room, especially in my room, and the heat waves very last a long time. Most of the times the rest of the year, it's either during the summer or springtime, mild weather where a fan does just a good enough job. Let's respawn back to the thing. So it's not worth spending all that money on something that's going to be used maybe a couple of times throughout the year, throughout the summer. Force or something pop up. Oh, look at that, got little overalls. Yeah, let's keep that looking. Looks adorable, little overalls on. Yeah. Yeah, sell all the fish. Buy some more. Of course, this would cost 100. There we go. I have to buy quite a lot. I didn't realize how much cash I got. Is that shower head? Kind of looks like a shower head. Put something to that at least. There we go. That's not that's too hot, right? Let's switch. All right. You forget if I want to use the mouse to do that, and then change it here. Okay. Okay, still saying between 1 and it's like 5 to 1. It still isn't here yet. Oh well. If it does, hopefully it doesn't get rescheduled. Because if it does come today, I think we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. For tomorrow's stream. an unboxing stream. I think that will I might start early. I'll see what the weather is like in the morning. But it might be like start a lot earlier, maybe like around 10 instead of 11, like I usually do. 10 in the morning, that is. Because Jesus Christ, I thought too long would help a lot. It seemed it was, and 2000 seemed. It's probably because the ice blocks have melted completely in them now. I'm pretty sure the ones I stuck because I put them in there this morning. Those ones melted. So I swapped out the ones that were fully solid, and I doubt the ones that I put in there are now fully solid because it's only been about an hour since I did that, or about 2 hours. So yeah, the heat is beating down on me a lot today. Like I said, this week will probably be just very short 2-hour streams, just for my sake. But tomorrow's a little bit cooler, looking at the weather, because right now it says it's going to be 27. So it might be a lot better. But we're doing an unboxing stream because I'm waiting for. It's coming today. It's just the Novel Horizon Fifi figure, so we'll do that on stream for tomorrow, and that'll be a good, nice, short 2-hour stream. Thankfully, like I said, it's going to start cooling down by Sunday, but then it seems to be like peaking up again close to next Saturday. So next Saturday will be a debate. Like I said, I'll see how it's Saturday goes. Saturday might be just completely off because like we wouldn't. If it is 30 degrees, that means it's going to start at like 26 in the morning, possibly. So it's like there'd be too much on streaming. Even if we did pick something like Webfishing or something simple to play or do on stream. But yeah, as usual, if any changes do happen to the stream, I'll let you know on Blue Sky and on Discord server. That said, I am going to pass out on the floor. Not really. I'm gonna just sit down and try to relax in this and with the heat. Oh god, I think the heat really is fly in my room. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow for something.